Blanketed by an unrelenting fog, the bridge structure looms vast and intimidating in the shrouded morning sky. Unbroken gray covers everything big and small and is uncompromising in its thoroughness. But just as it seems as if the fog has consumed all, a pinpoint of yellow light shatters the unbroken wall of gray, signaling the inevitability of train time. Few shots in Greenville can compare to the Saluda Trestle confidently guiding this train through the thick fog. Each intermodal car materializes as if by magic from the soupy gray veil, bound for the well-lit safe haven of Greenville Yard. Despite its age and clear physical wear, the trestle withstands the pounding of over 20 trains a day crossing its span. And this train, now safely across, proved to be no greater challenge than the last. So what makes this railroad bridge such a special part of upstate railroading? Well, I think this view does all the explaining. The Saluda Trestle is positively massive, certainly the most impressive structure in the region. The fact that it is still in commercial use only adds to its mystique. A deck plate girder bridge, the Saluda Trestle allows for the Norfolk Southern Greenville district to cross the Saluda River at a staggering 80 feet above the ground. That's a long, unforgiving drop for anyone unfortunate enough to take the plunge. On the north side of the bridge, we find a massive approach grade, clocking in over 2 miles in length. The incline sends trestle-bound trains such as this here intermodal soaring overhead with elegance and ease. Cargo of every imaginable variety climbs this grade hundreds of times a day. From intermodal containers to these truck trailers, you never know what you may see, making its summit towards the trestle. It's thanks to such infrastructure that this intermodal train is able to efficiently transport goods from the urban centers of Charlotte to Atlanta in such a timely manner. From here to gone in less than 5 minutes, the speed in which this intermodal train has passed me by is a testament to the fine engineering exhibited here at the Saluda River Trestle Bridge. There are precious few other examples of such railroad engineering in the metro Greenville area, making the Saluda Trestle all the more special. As you can probably tell, I'm really fond of this bridge. Unfortunately, its isolation on the Greenville district means a long drive to any nearby major crossing or overlook. Fortunately, one of the closest places to tie down just so happens to be one of my favorites. Welcome back to K Drive Crossing. BNSF Run-Through Power is one of Greenville's little railroad treasures. The zest foreign power brings can be enjoyed daily here in the Upstate, with 2 trains featuring BNSF Power, Train 222, and of course, Train 265. BNSF is not the only foreign power found on this line. Union Pacific, Kansas City Southern, Canadian National, and Ferromex have all been known to make occasional appearances on the Greenville district. The BNSF intermodals are known to be hot shot trains, yet this particular rendition of the train was moving quite modestly and is only now gaining speed. Why is this? Well, this winter, the Norfolk Southern has enacted an expansive tie replacement initiative on the Greenville district. Construction is well underway just south of here in downtown Easley, and as a result, passing trains are subject to harsh speed restrictions. As a result, it takes almost an entire train's length for this intermodal to reach typical K-drive crossing speeds. As the train vanished around the bend, still accelerating the track speed, I'm confident in its ability to make up time. Unlike many other railroad bridges, the Saluda Trestle, located just north from here, allows for track speed over its span, something I'm sure our intermodal train plans to take full advantage of. Just beyond this bend, one will find the Southern Saluda Trestle Incline, a multi-mile incline grade which will deposit trains at the trestle's southernmost precipice. Although you can't see it, rail fans will certainly experience the effects of such a grade, as southbound trains propelled by gravity on the downhill run will zoom by. Wait a minute, if trains are supposed to zoom by, then why is this train moving so slowly? Well, with tie replacement afoot and easily, this southbound manifest is forced to keep its brakes applied all the way downhill in order to comply with speed restrictions. I've always said manifests are the classic American train, but did I mention they're also the most musical? All the different types of train cars, old and new, squeak, creak, and groan in union, creating a kind of mechanical symphony to accompany the movement of the train. And as the head end of the train makes its left-hand curve towards Easley, it begins to shed what little speed it possessed in the first place. If you look carefully, you'll see the brake shoes pressed up against the wheels, a sign that the air brakes have been applied. After making an extensive work stop at Greenville Yard, this southbound manifest is just getting underway. Unfortunately for the crew, this already slow train is now rendered to molasses speeds as it navigates the tie replacement project. My heart goes out to this train, as it has a long way to go before its journey is anywhere near complete. It took another 10 minutes for this slow train to pass me by. I saw boxcars, tank cars, hopper cars, and flat cars, all paraded along in a grandiose display of cargo carrying capacity. This train has a long way to go before it arrives at its destination. Fortunately for me, my next destination is only about 5 minutes northbound from here. Let's head back to the Saluda River Trestle. It's the early afternoon, and the fog which added such tranquility to this morning's trestle experience has long since burned off. In its absence, we are privileged to a view of the Saluda Trestle in its entirety. Make note of the old bridge pylons left neglected in the river. These mark the location of an older trestle from years long gone by. Still, after all these years, the pylons stand defiant, refusing to bow to the railroad and nature's wishes of destruction. Snaking underneath the bridge is an access road, occasionally used by the Norfolk Southern for inspections. This otherwise vacant thoroughfare is dominated by the structure above. Adjacent to the trestle is the old Saluda River Dam. Water recreation enthusiasts owe the creation of the popular Saluda Lake to this structure. Unfortunately, dam security is tight, so I avoided crossing the bridge to film the dam in its splendor. If I did cross to see the dam, it wouldn't have been a wise choice. The rumbling of steel and hissing of tracks alerted me to a swiftly approaching train making its way onto the bridge. Even the keenest of eyes won't notice the expected quivers and sways seen on bridges of this age when crossed. I cannot fathom a better testament to this trestle's solid construction and strength. Almost as impressive as the bridge itself is the visual opportunities it gives us. There are not many places where you can see two massive DPU locomotives vaulted nearly 80 feet into the air. It's certainly a sight to behold. As much as there is to be said about the Saluda Trestle and the visual splendor it presents, at the end of the day, its spice comes from the simple thrill of a big train crossing a tall bridge. It simply doesn't get much better than that. Similar to the southbound manifest we watched earlier, this northbound intermodal is in the process of reducing its speed as it makes its approach into the Greenville yard. The one problem with intermodal trains is that they are long. Very long, and with not much to be visually desired. So after about 10 minutes of this slowing train, I decided to bail ship in search of more interesting cargo. My goodness! It seems my search was not in vain. To my surprise, what I thought was to be a normal train turned out to be the very elusive military extra. Tanks, trucks, and trunks all ride piggyback in these distinctive Department of Defense flat cars. Every conceivable vehicular provision of war could be spotted on this train as it zoomed by a normally passive K-drive crossing. I was not the only one interested in this train. Drivers stuck behind the crossing gate stepped out of their vehicles to observe this fascinating cargo. The recent Russian invasion of the Ukraine made the appearance of this train all the more ironic. something that was not lost to me or the other drivers. All that equipment must have been heavy, or at least heavy enough to warrant 2 DPU trailing units. But as the train rounds the bend, I'm confident that even this military train with all its cargo will be no match for the mighty Saluda Trestle.